And we are back with yet another episode brought to you by Draggin Bags. So we had some success with them last weekend.
We did.
They made us better throwers. We talk about them every week, guys.
Whole bunch of different series, too.
Series for every different type of thrower under this sun. All right? And the other sun.
Whoa.
You never know. Okay? There could be two.
Could be.
Flat Earth theories. You never know. But anyways, head over to Draggin Bags and pick yourself up some heat today. All right? Be on the lookout for the My Bags drop coming here soon. But in the meantime, pick up your Power Dragons, pick up your Charlies, and start putting some work in on the boards with Draggin Bags. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout. It's going to save you money because we like you. And we're really nice like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we like to help people.
We're swell guys.
Hey, that's swell guys. Good job.
Thanks.
But anyways, dragonbags.com. Drop code BIGASP12 and you can be just a little bit cooler.
Just a little bit.
Tiny bit.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host, you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime.
All right, welcome back to yet another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
What is the haps?
Nothing,
Bro
man.
ham.
Just finally starting to get over this cold.
You sound better.
Yeah,
even than
better.
you did
Like
yesterday.
I'm like on the cusp of like finally getting over this thing. So the problem is I have to talk all day at work.
Ugh.
It's the worst.
It is the worst. I had a very silent day today.
Those are the best.
All of my like Teams calls ended up just being email exchanges because I'm like, guys, I have stuff to do. Like, I don't need to exchange pleasantries about our weekend for a half hour and then talk like 5 minutes of business. Like, can we just get to getting? So,
Well, fun episode
nice.
this week. We got plenty of
Sean, it's
stuff
always
planned.
this week. It's always a fun episode.
It is
We bring
always.
the people audio gold.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Obviously.
Come on, man.
All right, but before we get into anything else, Dane, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in a segment we call What You Drinking.
What you drinking?
Ooh.
So, picked me up another little case of the Southern Tears, and they had a new drop for the overpacked IPA pack.
I tried it yesterday.
This one's called Smooth Rider. It's a session IPA, but it's only 4.8%.
I know, right?
Super drinkable. It's
That's
a nice,
very low for Southern Tier.
Yeah, and it's a very
Nice.
nice, pleasant IPA. Like, I will definitely be crushing some of these bad boys in the summer heat this summer coming up. Sean's sipping on that good old IPA, the regular IPA.
Yep.
Here, I'll try to show off that can to y'all.
Solid.
It's a cool looking can. I mean, their standard IPA is a tried and true.
Yeah,
There's
it's 7.0. You know, it's good.
the
And
funny
it's very,
thing is
it's
like
very
this,
easy.
it's so ho hum for them though.
Correct.
Like it's just so run of the mill
Yeah, it's
compared
great.
to the rest of it, but still a great beer. Southern Tier, always getting it done.
Just can't go wrong with it.
It's
All
a
right,
step
so
above.
we have more audio gold planned for you all this week. Obviously, this past weekend was the first ACL Signature Pro Signature event of the year. So we're going to recap all the results of that. We have dramatic readings, and then we're going to let you know what's going on in our lives,
Ooh,
like we do every single week in our segment called
right
In
meow.
and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
So, did you work from home today?
No.
So, was your drive like just shitty?
Yes,
They
they were
were
both shitty.
I saw probably 7 accidents on the way to work. Like, and I didn't even realize it. Like, it's kind of snowed last night, like rained, and I think it just got cold. So I guess there were a few slick spots on the road, but there
Yeah.
was cars like all over the place. It took me forever to get to work this morning.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't like slip or slide at all
Okay.
the whole time I drove in. But yeah, it was definitely a slow drive. Like it took me about 45 minutes to get into work today, and it's usually like half hour tops.
Yeah, like on a good day, like I was at my closer office today. It's 45 minutes. It took me like an hour and 15. Like,
That
and
sucks.
and the worst of it was the last accident that occurred was like right at the exit.
Yeah.
I was going to. So I got stuck like maybe 800 yards before the exit.
Worst. Yeah,
I could
'cause
see
when
it.
You could see it,
And then I
just like,
saw like the cops were putting flares across the exit.
Oh,
There was no cop car blocking the exit though. And there was no cop standing there like directing traffic away. So I just kind of like went over flares and just like went through
just
it.
don't drive over them.
Yeah, I just kind of weaved around them. And, yeah, and it was fine and no
you're
one
good.
stopped me. So I'm like, I hope I don't get pulled over, but like I need to go here.
Yeah, but I don't get why you'd block off the exit. If
Correct. It was like the accident was like on the highway.
Yeah, don't block the exit off.
So
They might have just done that so maybe like EMTs could get down that back way
Probably,
quicker or something, but it's all right. You ignored it.
That was all good.
You're just such a rebel.
I know.
Such a rebel.
Felt like it.
Mhm.
This weekend I went to Indianapolis.
How was that?
It was good. So we took the kids. They have a really big children's museum.
Yeah.
And so we just took them out there for that. We have one of our cousins, my godchild, Bryn. She lives out there. So we just hung out for the day with her. So we went to the children's museum. We had a little bit of a debacle with like the hotel situation.
Mm-hmm.
We walk into the hotel. Now, mind you, we knew that the pool was under construction, right? And we had contacted the pool and they're like, no, it's going to be done 2 weeks before you guys are staying. We're good. We double checked the website. They said, hey, thumbs up. Pool's good.
Open.
Well, we walk in. Mind you, it's shitting rain outside. We had to wait for valet, right? So I'm getting soaked, unloading the car. We're staying there one night. You would thought we were staying there for a fucking week, but that's another conversation. So I unload all the stuff, drag it in, and I come around the corner. Wife and kids are with me. And the first thing the lady says to me, she's like, oh, our pool's not working, right? And I look at her. I'm like, does it look like I know the pool's not working?
Yeah. Do you see all these floaties that I'm carrying in right now?
And I like start to lose my shit. I'm like, what do you mean the pool's not open? Like we've double checked with you guys and you said it was going to be, the only reason we're staying here is because you said the pool was going to be open. So I'm like, what are you telling me right now? She's like, well, you can go across the street and use their pool if you want. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So it's like 30 degrees outside. So you want me to take my kids across the street downtown? That's the best solution you come up with.
I think it was a pretty fair solution.
So luckily there was another hotel, same property, Hilton. Fuck you guys right now. Like that's so annoying. We had to go. So I had to go wait 30 minutes for a valet to go get my car, which they had just pulled away from, load the car up, drive around the block basically to a new hotel, park there. It was just, oh God.
Terrible.
It was just a long evening, but luckily Bryn arrived. She brought beer in tow. We got a
Good
pizza.
girl.
The kids were in the pool. So I basically sat by the pool, drank some beer, had some pizza, caught up with Bryn, and just
Can't really ask for much more.
no, it was a nice weekend. And then the drive home was easy. It's just a boring drive, man.
Yeah.
It's like 4 hours,
Very
like
flat.
just nothing, not a lot to see.
It's good old Midwestern charm the whole way.
Correct.
Bunch of corn, random cattle.
Yeah.
Time to time.
I know. Friday night we took mom and dad out for my dad's birthday,
Yes.
and then I had booked the simulator real close to my dad's house, and you met us out there.
I sure did.
We decided to do a 3-man scramble,
3-man.
and we shot 16 under par.
We did.
We
and
were
it was-
feeling it, man.
It was legit too.
All
I
three
mean,
of us were hitting the ball very, very well.
I will say we went up. We hit from the whites or something.
Yeah, it was the
I think.
whites.
Yeah, so I mean, shorter course, but
It was like
still-
6,000.
Yeah, still fun. Not mad at it. Yeah,
No, I mean, you still have to
kinda
make
tore it
putts
up.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and hit inside of the range and everything. So it was fun, and we all contributed and kind of thing. It was just it was a fun evening out.
And it was.
It's quelling my thirst to get out and golf, because if nothing else, I can still get out there and swing a club for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's holding it at bay. What else did you do this weekend?
So on Friday before I hit you up met you at the simulator, I went out to Crocker Park with the wife. They had some killer sales going on out there because a bunch of shit's closing down.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me Dick's,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, not just Dick's. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 other
Really? That's so
stores
sad,
shutting
man.
down. I know, dude. It sucks. But so I went out there not knowing that Dick's was shutting down, but very happy that I went out there because golf balls were 50% off.
That's crazy, man.
So I bought my golf balls for the season.
and are they done now? They're closed?
Tomorrow's the last day they're officially open at that location. Then they move to Avon, which is like an entire 2 towns away.
I wonder if it's worth me even going out there at this point.
Probably not. It
Yeah,
was
it's probably
getting
picked
picked
through.
through.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. The one thing that I wish I would have pulled the trigger on was they had 10 by 10
Mats.
canopies,
Oh, really?
like pop-up
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
canopies. like with rollers on the bags and everything. Like they were nice ones, and those were 50% off too. So they were like $42.
Wow.
I was like, I should have bought like 5
Would have been
of
a
those.
steal, man.
I know.
That's when you know you're getting old. When
I know.
you get
Just like, I
excited
should have
about stuff
bought
like
because
that.
I could have turned around and sold each one of those for $100 a pop.
Yeah.
God damn.
I've been searching, like just trying to price out like how much it would be to put like a putting green or just some turf on the side of my house kind of thing. It's a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but I think that
Not if we can buy it in bulk.
not if I get my daughter interested enough in it.
Yeah.
And then my wife's gonna be like, well, yeah, okay, obviously.
And
It's
it
like she
pays
wants
off.
it.
Yeah. She really wants to putt every
Correct.
day. She told me, Sean. And I want you guys to have it too, so I can come over whenever.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be
But it
beneficial
needs to
for
double as pitch pads. Just telling
Correct.
you. Might as well. And yeah, then hit the golf sim. Golf decently well.
Yeah.
Saturday, just kind of hung out, did shit around the house, and then had another golf simulator.
That's
party
right.
For,
Yeah, that's right.
TJ, our boy, he's Kevin's son that like part owner of Cleveland Cornhole. So I had like Dennis Fortney out there and Kevin Allen, like
All the Cleveland Cornhole
crew was
OGs,
out
yeah.
there. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. Had a blast. So basically we just did like a 4v4, played Scramble, this course that like Kevin's brother or something lives on in Vegas. So like it was just like a fun like drag course that he knew, and he was like pointing out his brother's house because like you could literally see it on the simulator and stuff. It was kind of cool. Yeah, so we just did that. Then like the second part of it, we actually ripped through 18 as a foursome. Like both crews did in like an hour and 45 minutes.
That's probably what it should be.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
wasn't
mean? Like, yeah.
I mean, we were all right there, just stepping right up. So like, I mean, it was pretty quick. But we go to like play another game. So we're like, shit, we have more time, might as well. And we ended up choosing Augusta, but they have like tees that you could put every hole to be a par 3.
That's I like that concept.
It was super cool.
But
so,
you still play it as this normal par.
yeah. So like hole number 1 is a par 4. Normally I think it's like 410 or something at Augusta. This one was 130-yard par 4. But we played Sunday pins.
Okay.
And only a 6-foot halo.
Okay.
And we shot 22 under.
It's
in
fun.
the 18 layaway.
Yeah.
Like it was fun.
Yeah, like reaching a par 5 and 1. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but you're not even thinking that. You're just
No.
like the one par 5 was only 77 yards, but it was tucked directly behind a pin.
Okay.
So you're like, oh man, like I don't even know if I want to chance this. I'm just going to throw it to the middle of the green. Like, so yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then Sunday, took mom and dad out to the Cleveland Museum of Art.
Oh, that's right. How cultured of you.
Dude, I know it's cultured, but love it. Like had a great time out there, and then hit up the Aviator for brunch afterwards.
Yeah. Mixed reviews.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like to me, it's for what you get. It's like $45 a head.
Your wife was not a fan.
I mean, I think it was the atmosphere that maybe got her a little bit, but you know,
When you left the room,
when
you left the room, she looked at me and she's like shaking her head. She's like,
yeah, I don't know what she's talking about because all the food was good.
Okay.
Like it was good quality brunch food, like at a high level. I mean, you had a full seafood spread there.
she said the service sucked.
The service, yes, it sucked. Like we sat up in the pub and there was only 2 waitresses servicing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, our drinks took a minute to get to us.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and if you're at a buffet, that's kind of what you're not.
I'm not there to be ripping Bloody Marys at a buffet.
Yeah.
I want 4 plates of food, and guess what I got? 4 plates of food. All right, and I was a very happy boy. Told him, I'm like, you're gonna rue the day that you let me into an all-you-can-eat buffet. They didn't. They had so much fucking food there. It was insane. Yeah, I definitely didn't put a dent in anything, but still very good. And besides that, just needed to take a break from throwing after all the throwing we did the previous weekend. So rested the shoulder, only golfed rather than threw any cornhole bags. So soon though, I think I'm going to go up to the blind draw Thursday and go play at teams.
Okay.
You should come.
I might. I mean, the problem is I can't get there by the time they start, but I might still go up there and just throw, when there's an open board or something.
Just come up.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. So completely random question.
Sure.
And I can't remember if we talked about this. We might have talked about this like a really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to picture yourself. You're in the shower.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself like cupping the water and then just like letting it fall? So like splats on the
Oh
ground?
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a dude 101 for
Right?
sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because like I asked my wife the same question. She looked at me like I was crazy.
All right. So when you're testing the temperature of water, how do you do it?
How do I do? I
Yeah.
normally just stick my hand in.
All right. Let's say tap, like from a tap.
Oh, I like.
Yep.
Yeah.
The flick.
Yeah. The flick.
It's
Yeah.
always the flick.
Yeah, for sure.
I guarantee you, every guy listening right now, if you turn on like
A hot
from
water.
a faucet,
Yeah.
you know, and you were tested either hot or cold, you're not like sticking your finger directly and you're just wiping it through.
Yeah,
Like
for
a
sure.
little quick little flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think every guy does that.
Okay. And that's another good one. I'm gonna have to ask my wife. How
I'm
do
trying
you test the water?
Oh, all right.
One more.
They'll
All right, go ahead.
the girls they'll put their whole hand in it.
Really?
I'll guarantee it.
Whole hand.
Yeah, dude, I know, right? It's psychotic. I know. We're the crazy ones. No, I'm telling you. They're gonna put their whole hand, they're gonna like test it with the whole hand rather than just one finger. They're gonna like
But
test
guys,
it.
if you're listening to this and you know what we're talking about, like when you're in the shower, you ever cupped it and then like just let the water
you just
drop.
it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if you've done that, just I don't know, just give me a love on the post.
All right, so you see one of those classic door stoppers that when you spring it,
Yeah.
do you always have
Yeah,
to
of course.
yeah, every time you have to flick it.
Yeah, I have one at work.
Yeah.
It's like a ritual. yeah.
Boing.
Yeah, for sure. My longtime assistant, she's like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "You every morning, like I hear it. It's
Wouldn't be able
there."
to stop myself either.
I'm like, "It's just there. It's right by my door." I'm like, "I don't know. It's just nice
Classic.
little. I don't know. It makes me smile in the morning. I mean, like, why not start a day off with a little boing? Why not?"
We all wish we could. All right, I'm jealous.
All right. So before we dive into like the results and everything, which I mean, most people that are listening to the show, they know the results and everything, right? I wanted to kind of go over a few things that were like that I liked about the overall stuff, and then things that like I didn't like, some criticism and stuff. If you would let me.
All right. Let me turn on the dramatic music.
No, you don't have to do that. All right. One of the things that as I was watching, I just kind of had my phone out and I was typing notes and stuff. The first thing
Sean,
that,
we know that you're a nerd. Okay, you take notes while you watch sports.
the first thing that I wrote down was get a jersey.
Yes.
Like it is a terrible look when someone has that generic pro jersey on. It really is. Like you can't even take the time, like unless you have zero sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Which I have a hard time believing. But if we're to be taken seriously, it's just not a great look to be in like the generic jersey. Now, for me, because I'm a loser and I know what the actual pro jerseys versus the generic jerseys, I know I'm nitpicking. I'm coming from a very niche complaining crowd.
but we're the niche crowd that notices
it's
that
just,
shit.
Again, it goes to the whole professionalism thing. Like, God damn it. Like, if we want this thing to be taken seriously, then you got to at least remember to pack your fucking pro jersey.
Yeah. Should be like day one stuff.
And if you don't have your pro jersey, like I have, it's probably because you turned shit in late and you didn't get your jersey in time, which means you weren't on top of your shit.
Yeah. And guess what? I mean,
It's
if
just
I
a
was the
professionalism
sponsor, I
thing.
would be pissed
That's what I'm saying.
that my logo wasn't at least on your jersey for people to possibly see. Like, that's missed out opportunity right there. And
again,
on the flip side, though, if you do forget your pro jersey, for the love of God, can we just get them the black jersey rather
Yeah.
than the white one?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's an eyesore. It's so much white.
it is a lot of white. One of the, I think it's actually there's a dramatic reading later, but one of the things I did notice was the bulk. Like it's weird because like if you have one sponsor, if you didn't specify that you wanted to use all that sponsorship spot, it's just 4 of that right across the back.
Yeah.
There's two ways you can look at it. One, it's noticeable. You're seeing it 4 times, and it's good. To me, it just looks kind of
It
cheesy.
looks clunky.
Yeah, it just looks like zero care was it, and you're just slapping 4 logos on the back. Yes, you're seeing it 4 times. Yes, it's creating conversation, which is marketing. I get that. But again, it just goes to the whole professionalism thing. Like, lump that shit together. Somebody from the ACL should like look at that and be like, hey, are you sure you want 4 of these? You don't want just like a big ass fire logo or, you know, all cornhole or whoever it is on your back? Like,
I mean, part of it's like, I know they're trying to simplify like the jersey process, but they need to understand that these are the jerseys you're forcing players to wear.
correct.
So yes, if they only have one sponsor that they want to put on their jerseys, then I think it's up to the ACL to get creative,
Yeah.
and make that thing pop on that jersey,
Yeah.
and not make every jersey look like these people look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like seeing
I agree.
fire cornhole 5 straight times. Like it
Yeah.
just looks weird. It
does.
looks weird.
It does look a little weird. I am trying my hardest because I've come to the realization that round limit is not going to go anywhere, right? It's probably the future of professional cornhole. Just fits very cleanly into TV. I get it. Timing wise, it's just a dream for those guys, right? Especially with how good these guys are getting. Playing 30 rounds is like an average game for these guys.
Yeah.
I get the round limit is not going anywhere.
Shot sucks.
It just sucks, man. It sucks. In the most perfect situation, it's exciting, but for the most part, it just sucks. It forces players to take dumb shots. It leaves you feeling like it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Like if one team's just starting to get hot and starting to turn, but they just ran out of rounds, like it just sucks. And it's just, I know it's a different format and it's just bitching to bitch.
Yeah.
I get that, but like it's still like it sucks and it's not as good as the 21 format.
Well, I actually have a dramatic reading on this later.
Okay.
About this topic, so I'll look forward to bringing it up.
To me, it's very much like it's not who is the best, but who can manage mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It's just very, you would think that in round limited format, like, oh, these guys are going to be dirty bag tacticianers and really trying to place blockers. No, fuck that. Every single player in that league, right? In
It's
round
just like,
limited is trying.
I don't want to mess up first.
Correct. That's all they're waiting is just, I'm going to slide bags in and wait for somebody to make a mistake. If I have to win this game 2-0, I'll win it 2-0.
Yep.
But I'm trying to just slide bags in the hole every single time. And I'm only going to block and create points if I absolutely have to. But if I'm in the lead, I'm just going to keep pouring bags in the hole and make them make the mistake of missing a blocker slightly right or slightly left.
Yeah, I agree.
In round of 21, you might see guys try to create some stuff early on, knowing that, like, hey, if all else fails and now my back's against the wall, now I need to run bags.
Yeah.
Like, but at least they have that opportunity early on that, hey, if this isn't working, I can change up. Into 12, you have to start hot. There's just not enough time to really come back against a really good player.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And it's just,
now, in the perfect situations, like in the doubles finals, when it was close and it came down to the last round, okay, I'll give you that. It can be very exciting.
you can't.
But it's just a dime a dozen.
I feel like it's few and far between. And those, if it's a blowout,
it's the worst.
It's the worst to watch because, like, they just, it just kind of gets boring real fast.
I mean, how painful was it to watch the Mac Guy match?
Yeah,
in singles?
I mean, it's just even going down by that in the first round.
You
it's
saw.
just
I mean,
you're just
we'll talk about it later.
Full
again more, but
deflation.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over with, and yet we had to sit there and watch it drag on 11 rounds because in his head he doesn't have enough time to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because of his play style.
Yeah, correct. He's a grind it out. Now, if he goes down 6-0 and it's to 21, you're going to see a Mac Guy talking shit to himself, firing himself up, finding the middle of the board, and he's going to rattle off 40 straight bags in the hole.
Yeah.
And before we know it, it's 8-6 and he's got the lead again. But it's going to go 50 rounds.
Exactly.
But he's a grinder. Like, that's what it is. In this round limit format, I was so surprised
Takes
that he made
it out of it.
But he was so perfect on the first day, it helps.
It does.
So, all right. So that was the bad. I think the good was it was nice to see like the blue blood, like the top chip teams in doubles finish, right? To get to the end, right? So we came out with power rankings earlier in the year. 3 out of our 4 were made the finals, 3 out of our top 4. And then, we had JBJ and Chamberlain at 4. They were sitting and they ended up taking second in their bracket. They only lost to Trzynski and Graham.
Which is, bumped them up a spot.
So I think that was a solid in singles. It was good to see, again, Mac Guy would have been a great story to win this first one, but it was nice to see Mac Guy and Tony Smith. I'm not taking anything away from the other two guys, right? They had a phenomenal weekend, but that was kind of where I was at with that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go
a
over
phenomenal weekend.
You want to start with singles or doubles?
We'll do doubles.
We'll do doubles?
Why not? Here,
Okay.
we'll do, there you go. Doubles A.
All right, so Tony Smith and Mark Richards, if you haven't heard, took down doubles, and they are staying red hot. So people are saying this is a 4-peat. I think that they're the best team in the country. We've said this 1,000 times. Let's pump the brakes on that, though. Let's give some respect to Eddie G and Caleb, who won 2 national events and then the World Championship, right?
Yeah.
They've won 1 signature event. Now, if they go on and win the next 2, then we start
same
counting those in a row.
Yeah.
They've won 3 opens and then a signature. There has to be some sort of separation. I know in terms of like ACL titles, it doesn't, which I still think is ridiculous, but that's another conversation.
Yeah. I mean, titles, I think like national titles should be worth like 5 points.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
just
opens
something,
one.
man. I just these open titles, it's just not the same, man. It's just not. It's like winning a signature is a big deal. So they take down, and in the finals, we got a great matchup. Tony Smith, Mark Richards is facing off against Jamie Graham and Jacob Trzynski.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. I mean, really, it was turning into like who was going to hold on more at the end of that.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
You know, you had Trzynski kind of against Mark Richards, who just looks ridiculous, man. Like with his arm outside, I think that's just he's the best player in the world, easily.
He punished Trzynski every time.
Anytime he had a chance, yeah, he hit the shot. So Tony did not have his A game that day, and I don't know if it was just the boards were playing so fast. When we get into teams, he was visibly frustrated with that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that might have carried over a little bit to the next day. The boards were playing pretty fast, and he wasn't able to quite play his game as.
I mean, honestly, every time it looked like he was going for a roll bag, that thing was shooting off the back. Like he only hit like 1 or 2 roll bags.
And as well as Mark Richards shot, Jamie Graham I thought shot just as well, kept them in it. But you know, Richards and Smith, they outlasted him. It ended up being
it was really a tale of two
12,
sides.
11 or something.
I mean,
like
you
that.
had Richards just beating up on Trzynski and Graham beating up on Tony Smith.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room for a second, though?
Sure.
Trzynski's mustache.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, we got to lose that ASAP.
Come on, Jacob.
You got to go full mustache, or you got to just get rid of that thing, because that was just not the look. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Rock like the pencil stash or something, but that thing's flirting a little Hitlerish.
Yeah,
like
it
needs
is.
to, you got to spread it on the lip a little bit more.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit more, or just go clean shaven. You're a good looking dude. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Like
I get it. You can grow a mustache. Like you want to show it off a little bit, but just show off more of it.
Yeah. But I'm glad I wasn't like the only one.
Hey, at least you tried something. Like,
For sure.
I'll
Very true.
commend that to you. But
other bracket winners. We had Austin Kipple and Logan Dupler, and we had Gavin Cano and Sammy Soto.
yes.
Sammy Soto, Gavin Cano was a team that we've talked about a lot going into this. I think that they have a lot of potential. I think they were ranked second or third in my power rankings.
Yeah.
They still belong up there. They just didn't have a great showing. Neither one of them was like on clicking.
Yeah,
on
they
both,
just didn't
on all
have
cylinders.
Great finals, but
I do not think this is going to be the only time we see them on a broadcast this year in doubles. I think that they're going to be kind of in the mix all season. I just want to see them get over the hump.
yes.
But played very, very well. And then Dupler and Kibble, unfortunately, they just ran into a red hot like Mark Richards. Mark Richards and Dupler played very well against Mark. You know what I mean? They leveled off, but Tony Smith was just able to kind of click when he needed to click.
It almost felt like Dupler went in with that mindset of like, just don't like lose it, as opposed to try to beat Mark Richards.
And that's the thing, you can't do that because like you have Tony Smith on the other end.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean?
Because like Dupler wasn't doing Dupler things. He was just trying to
again, I think
four-bag
the
it with
boards
them.
being fast
yeah,
might have
it
played.
kind of handcuffs some people.
It does
for
a little
sure.
bit. But again, and it's one of those, I think it was a dramatic reading we'll get to later, but it's just, you got to be able to adapt a little bit. You just have to. Again, it's not as
Just
exciting.
figure out how you can throw that slightly stickier bag.
So if we go through each bracket, some of the other notable performances, Jimmy Humans and Ian Cripps take second in the bracket. They lost to Tony Smith and Mark Richards.
Yeah.
Brett Guy and Matt Guy, they take third in their bracket. We go over to the next one.
You get AJ Sims and Braden Wilson take fourth. Oh, that's I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong one.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. B bracket.
So Austin Kipple and Logan Dupler took down Cody Henderson and Ethan Walker. Henderson and Walker were one game away from double dipping. It was pretty close, went to 14-12. So good things to see out of them.
Really liked seeing that.
You know, there's some questions about bag choice going in, but round limited event, it's nice to see them kind of clicking and making a deep run. So they're a top 10 team.
This
we just
was the
didn't
match
know.
I watched, by the way. I told you that one I was watching.
Yeah.
It was a great match.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's talking about the one against Frank Verona and Riker Wells,
who
took third in the bracket.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
next bracket
Next.
over. Adrian Brunson and Ethan Farias take second in the bracket to Sammy Soto and Gavin Cano. Hayden Gonzalez and Gabriel Clausen also had an epic run throughout. Fourth in the bracket was Jeremiah Ellis and Devin Harbaugh.
So glad to see that they made a decent run. I mean, they lost early and had to
Yeah, I mean, neither one of
rattle
them
it
had
off,
a great
but
weekend.
they lost to Soto and Cano,
This is
overall
one of
champ.
those that if you're Ellis and Harbaugh, you're just like, all right, well, it's not bad, but we need to throw this one away.
Yeah.
Like this is not like a great performance. So, And in the last bracket, you had Graham and Trzynski taking down Burton Jr. and Chamberlain, who, again, tried to complete the double dip. They fell a little bit short.
It's like they were just trying to create a rivalry
Correct.
in this one.
I mean, I think we
face
have
each
a
other
little bit,
3
yep.
times. So
other notable teams in this one, we had Hunter Thorne and Hunter Thorson, who looked pretty good. Hunter Thorne played really well this weekend.
yeah,
So it was nice to kind of see him like in the mix again.
we know. Yeah, I mean, he came on strong early.
Yep.
It kind of just, I wouldn't say he like declined. I think
No,
the
no,
game
no.
just got better,
For
and
sure.
he's just kind of still been pretty good.
Yeah. He just hasn't had that like that big. I mean, he won the Open.
Yeah,
But besides that, like it's just that's been like the highlight. Like I just want to see him in the mix, but it was a nice run there. Derek Holland and Alex Rawls take fourth in the bracket. So if we move over to singles, Gabriel Clausen was just the guy that just didn't make mistakes, and he played Matt Guy in the first round.
yeah.
Matt Guy gave him a kind of a gift in the first round. He shanked his first bag long and left. Second bag yanked. Third bag yanked. Fourth bag he puts in the hole. But he only ends up getting a 4. Like I don't remember the last time I remember Matt Guy scoring a 4 in a round.
Yeah.
He ends up digging himself in a 6-point hole, and you just kind of saw it on his face, right? It kind of lost all that
Deflated.
mustard. Like of all the positives talk from the mental health coaches that they've been going to and sports psychologists, to me just kind of went right out the window as soon as that first bag left his hand.
Yeah.
And it just you could tell he's like, this is just not my game.
Mm-hmm. He just wasn't feeling quite right about it, but
I'll tell you
still
what, though,
battled through though.
and he didn't. There was no antics. You know what I mean?
No.
Like he handled himself very well. Shook Gabriel's hand afterwards and wished him luck.
Yeah,
you know what I
very
mean?
easily could have just walked off after
100%.
like 5 rounds, been like, "Yep, there's no chance."
Correct. And still played it. And then I know there was like some questions about like strategy and stuff. Matt Guy, you have to remember, he will live and die by an airmail. That's what got him there.
Well, now
So-
you're just taking my dramatic reading.
We'll get there.
you
We'll get
know.
there.
Calm your cheeks, Sean.
All right. So other notable. So Gabriel Clausen wins his bracket. Obviously, ends up winning the entire event. He wins it over Tony Smith. Again, Tony just didn't quite have his A game. It seemed like.
Yeah.
But hats off to Gabriel. It's his first victory. I think it seems like he is a high PPR kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see what happens with the round of 21 format. But we were talking with one of our sponsored players, Mike Hoffman, last night, who said that the rise and how good this kid has gotten so fast is scary. He's like 2 years ago, this kid was like kind of just coming around and starting to get in the mix, and now he's winning singles. We've seen this before, though.
Yes, we have.
Rookies come in, they win a national. Now, then what happens to him afterwards?
Exactly.
Let's see. I would like to see him stay in the mix, but he's definitely a name to consider right now. He's got to be on everyone's radar.
Oh yeah, I mean clearly.
So other than notable finishes in some of the brackets, we had Gavin Cano losing, and then Damon Dennis took third in his bracket, and then we had Eric Davis take fourth in that bracket. It was I know there's a lot of people putting a lot of money on Eric Davis winning
Oh
that one.
yes,
So
round limited. Psh.
Tony Smith takes down his bracket, and he actually takes down Tommy Slicker, who had had a phenomenal run through the bracket. Just really impressive stuff. Austin Waskow takes third in the bracket, and Ty Thompson, our dude from Texas, takes fourth.
Yeah, he had a nice run there in the losers bracket.
I'm just happy that Austin and Ty both had great runs because
Yes.
I took the time to write a significant amount about both those guys.
Yeah.
And I think they're very talented, and I think they're going to be in the mix all season. I hated that they had to play each other so early in the bracket.
It does suck. C
Next
bracket.
one. This was just an epic battle. We had Matt Guy versus Jamie Graham. I mean, you can't draw up better shit than this.
Yes.
Besides if you got Matt Guy, Jamie Graham, and then if Mark Richards would have played against
This
Tony
is
Smith.
2023. Like,
I mean-
where are we at right now?
Jamie Graham tries to complete the double dip, falls a little bit short. Matt Guy closes down, shooting like an 11 in that second game, just didn't miss. We had a Kyle Malone sighting.
Look at that.
Again, just that guy just
Dude
shows
just
up to
shows
nationals
up.
and he just performs well. He takes third in the bracket, and then we had Mr. Shibby take fourth in the bracket. So nice run from Zach. Riker Wells takes down Jackson Gore to win his bracket, and I'll be completely honest. I know Riker was a sub-zero guy.
Yeah.
I've never seen him throw before.
Mhm.
I know that he was the first pick by the Aviator, so I'm like, oh well, I hope he's really good. And then I
He's
saw
really
him
good.
play. He's very, very good. He's
Yeah.
got a wild throw.
He does.
Reminds me a little bit of Tyler Cobb back in the day, like early Tyler Cobb. Like he really gets the bag behind his hip
behind
and lets
his
through.
back, yeah.
But played really well. Like just made like one or two mistakes, and Tony Smith just did just enough to kind of get past him. But super impressed. He's an aviator, so I'm a fan.
Hell yeah.
And he seemed like a cool dude. Played really tough, and his bracket was pretty fucking loaded, man.
It was.
He had to take down Jackson Gore, who was, again, arguably the hottest player in the country, who demolished Sammy Soto in the semifinals. Sammy Soto takes third in the bracket. And then fourth in the bracket, we hit Air Rubin.
And he had to face Ryan Trader to see who got there, so that kind of sucks. They got to
Yeah.
face each other off. But
And Ryan Trader, I mean, job well done. I mean,
Yeah.
like, again, there were some questions.
they
I
could
mean,
run. Love to see Ruben's name
tied
up
for-
there too.
Tied for fifth in the bracket, with humans. Like, it's
Hell
solid.
yeah.
It's solid.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Singles, I mean, it's kind of ho-hum. Cheyenne Bubenheim. The rest of the
Let's
tournaments
talk
were,
about women's.
were women's. Were kind of just like chalk. You had Cheyenne Bubenheim winning. Seniors, you had Damon Dennis winning. And then juniors, you had Tony Forbes. So you kind of had all the favorites
Yeah,
of
just
those
kinda-
events kind of handle business. They did what they did. Tony Forbes is going to be a problem. Like, the
Yes.
kid just seems like he wins a lot of events when he's in them. And the juniors division might be one of the hardest brackets in the country.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet, dude.
Sure
Gauntlet. I mean, they
is.
have they had 4 junior brackets at this thing.
Okay. So I watched the broadcast. I recorded it.
Okay.
And the broadcast that aired was the Coasters versus the Slingers, right? So Coasters, very North Carolina heavy team.
Yeah.
And then you have the Slingers, who are, reigning world champions, I think, right? So in theory, I was excited to see it because I wanted to see what the format was, like how we're going to go. They started off with tandem doubles, right? And you have Corey Gilbert and you have Dean Norton, and they're going against Matt Wilson, and I'm blanking out on who Matt was thrown with. Anyways. I can't remember. Anyways, I wanted to like the tandem doubles so much, but the one thing they got to stop doing is if they wash around, the 4-way fist bump walking down is just terrible.
I like it.
It just needs to stop. I think in theory, tandem could be great if you saw some sort of like dirty game or strategy, right? Like if you had a like elite guy that like, hey, I'm really good at leaving like level 1 blocks, and a guy coming through to clean it up. But in theory, it's just 2 guys just trying to pour all 4 bags. They're just trying to slide every time.
True.
Like they're not trying to like leave any mess. Like they're just hoping the other team like fucks up at some point.
You don't have like tactician. And
Yeah,
then,
because like you're
a
taking the parity
airmail
away.
specialist.
You're kind of taking the parity away of doubles.
Yeah.
Of making it tandem. Now I think I'm gonna give it another chance, but I don't know. It seemed like it was lacking a little bit. I will say Corey and Dean are very entertaining to watch. It would have been more entertaining had the match been a little bit closer at the end. Like I just wanted them to hit an airmail or hit a big shot and stay in the match, because them chirping was great stuff.
Yes.
But it only matters if you are in the match and it's not a blowout, and it ended up being a blowout. So
Yeah.
it lost a little bit of that. We go on to singles, right? So you go up from tandem, little bit of a letdown, a little bit, but like I'm still all right, like I'm keeping an open mind. And then we get a singles matchup. You get Tony Smith, Jamie Graham. So I'm like, fuck yeah, buckle up, man. This is exactly what we're doing.
Hot damn.
Quickly do I realize that it's obvious that Jamie Graham wants to win no matter what level of play it is. It could be backyards against a 5-year-old. He wants to murder them on the boards. And he just takes it very seriously. Like, this is my job. I'm going to do it. Tony was very much like going with the team vibe. You know what I mean? Like very easygoing. Like you saw him joking with his boys a little bit. And it was very clear early on that Tony did not like the speed of the boards, to the point where he was throwing the bag like 30 or 40 feet in the air just to try to land it short and some sort of block.
Yeah.
He started having a little bit of success at the end, but again, it's round limited.
Yeah. Too late.
Jamie Graham was just doing Jamie Graham stuff, and it would hit some big shots, and it wasn't the match that we wanted. Like I felt robbed a little bit. I'm like, we have this great matchup here, and it felt a little bit like it did matter.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. You can't have like your 2 best players. Like now, I tip of the cap to Jamie Graham. That dude just goes out and performs.
Yeah, he just wants to win, like you said.
And in a match like that, when you're throwing your heavyweights out there, you need it to be like a good match. And it lacked a little bit of that. And I was just felt a little bit let down.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a letdown, but do you blame them? They didn't, like, nobody even knew what the standings were last year. So how are they supposed to take team serious?
No, but like, again, Tony's team won it all last year. You know what I mean? So like, you would hope that there would be, and again, I think it was the board conditions were very fast and he was just struggling. And once you dig yourself in a hole in round limited, you're forced to try to manufacture points. And he was just getting frustrated that he just couldn't stop a bag.
I mean, I just think the players right now treat it as like just fun,
which is fine.
No, it's not though.
I don't know.
It needs to be taken a little more serious and shown they can actually be a model that can be successful in this thing. But I mean, in the meantime, I went over to the ACL page and went to the teams thing here. Got all the logos there and everything, but like, how is there just not like standings right at the? Right
is
at
it
the front?
not up yet?
No. And I know it's like
no. I know
day they don't have like full teams, but.
I know that,
it's not that hard to
some of the teams I do want to give credit to, like Arizona, they posted a little nice little recap. I think they were like 15-2 or 15-3 on the day. Mike Hoffman gave us a little rundown on Carolina. I think they only lost like 4 games on the day, so they're probably among the top. Again, we're gonna try to cover this the best we can. I'll give them a little bit of a break, for not having it up like the day after the Nationals just ended, but hopefully sometime this week we'll see it. And we can maybe talk about teams a little bit more with Trey next week when we have him on.
You're nicer than me, because my thing is you should have a plug-and-play ready graphic that you can literally just put up wins and losses and then have that updated almost live after that shit. I just don't accept the excuse because it's not that hard to do it. Like I'm not even in that world, and I know
there has to be a way to like
that.
pull the software over and then automatically upload.
Sean, you could do that fucking shit from your phone.
Yeah.
You can literally get a cheap ass version of Photoshop or something and just do that right there. Yeah. Like
I get it.
It's not as easy as that, but like if you have the right people working there, they should be able to handle something like that.
I feel like I've been very negative this episode. I'm trying to be positive in something here. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt again.
No, my purpose of this is I'm going to keep hammering on teams until I see a difference.
I will say it was not. People are gonna be like, okay, so you talked about the first 2 matches. What happened? I fell asleep.
Yeah, and I didn't watch any of it.
I couldn't.
I watched some of the doubles and singles, but I did not catch any of the teams.
I was so turned off by the Smith and Graham match. I'm like, I can't do it, man. Like I'm just like if they don't care, why should I care to watch it?
Yeah.
Like if I'm not even gonna get a good product out of what I'm watching and like that I care to see, like then it's just not worth it.
That's very true.
It's not entertaining enough watching like even like the best player in the world go up and like half-ass it. Like it's just not. It's just still throwing a beanbag at a board.
Yeah. What are you gonna like?
You got to show people when they tune in that like you guys are supposed to be the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
if it's not going to be good cornhole, at least make it entertaining cornhole.
And I know that's putting a lot of pressure on people like when they're on the broadcast. But again, the people that are in the ACL, the pros, again, you guys are the pioneers. You guys are the ones that are going to make it work in the future if it could. So guys like Jamie Graham, I love seeing that you care. And I love seeing that you want to go out and win because you get it. You get it a little bit.
Yes.
Regardless if that's why he wants to go on. Even if it's just he wants to win every match he goes out and throw, it still comes across as like he gives a shit and he wants to win.
Yeah,
this
and I think
event.
he just, he wanted to beat Tony Smith too. He knew that's
100%.
a big game. Like you're facing one of the
it's
top players
bragging
in the
rights.
world.
It's
Let's
bragging
go.
rights.
Like,
Regardless if it's teams or not, it's still bragging rights. It still beat
but
you.
every head-to-head victory, I mean, that's just a little metal notch on the next time you face. So.
Yeah, I get it. And I guess in the end, Tony has the last laugh, right? He made the broadcast and takes second overall and all that stuff. And again, like I'm not taking a shot at Tony. I'm just saying it lost my interest because I wanted the match to be better.
Yes. I mean, that's all we want. We just want good cornhole.
Yeah, correct. All right. Dramatic readings.
Is it time?
Let's do it. You said you have a few. I think we probably have a lot of the same.
Brought men to their knees. Social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Yeah, I have one. Just need to scroll over to it real quick. Scroll.
I got one. All right, addicted to cornhole. Dustin Henson. Watching the teams game, once again, players I've watched forever, gassing bags out the back. Players that rarely do that. Playing on brand new boards doesn't showcase the best cornhole on TV. You get brand new boards, play them at your headquarters so they're not lightning fast. Year after year, ACL does this. It's silly. Tony Smith can barely roll a bag. It's not fun to watch. So I will say that all the boards are made the same pretty much these days. They're all like the UV printed. So the speed of the boards for the most part are pretty, like even new boards like are pretty slow.
Yeah,
like now like West Georgia boards are notoriously like they are very slow. Like those are slower boards. I know the other boards are going to be a little bit faster, but they're not that fast. The boards themselves. What'll change is the atmosphere.
Yes,
right. It's
being under like direct lights can speed them up. It can slow them down sometimes.
If there's air conditioning
AC
pumping in,
yeah. And there's so many factors to it. If the bodies have been sitting around there for like the second hour of a broadcast, it's going to start to slow down a little bit.
And there's not much more they can do besides going and applying something to the board, like Windexing it.
Yeah.
Like really sticking it up. But then you're going to have some players complaining like, oh, you can't push through. Like they're so slow.
No, I'm sorry. This is the spot where I keep the argument alive for the bag change mid game.
Right. Thank you.
I think it's a smart move.
That's why you have that
Yes.
fucking rule. Like I would love to see someone on broadcast. Can you imagine Trey Ryder on a broadcast if they had a bag change?
Yeah.
That is a broadcaster's dream because it's something to talk about.
Exactly. Like
oh my God.
Why not just have
If
that
I'm
little
lucky,
slower
if I'm
set?
if I'm Lucky Bags,
Yes.
I'm telling Tony Smith next time we go on a broadcast, I want you to switch bags.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's going to get to talk about 2 different series of my bags.
Yeah, and guess what? You also don't have an excuse to bitch about the bags being too fast or the boards being too fast.
Bring your
afterwards.
extra sticky, dirty pro snipers or whatever the fuck you want to throw, and that's when you go to your little sack and you bring them out and you throw those.
Yeah, because guess what? Mark Richards could do whatever he wants with whatever bag right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like you see the best players in the world, some of them adapt, and then when you don't have a good game, it's just an easy cop out. It's just an easy excuse. Now, mind you, I get what you're saying. That when the boards are playing faster, sometimes we don't get like the cool shots. I get it, but here's a secret, right? When you get to the broadcast court, especially around limited, no one's doing the cool shots really anyways because everyone's so afraid of making a mistake. So 95% of the shots that we're seeing are straight up just slide and push. Everyone's so afraid to make those mistakes.
It's just not a good product when it's round limited, period. In my opinion. It's not the most eventful cornhole 90% of the time.
We'll see.
But I mean,
and the reason these guys are shooting like a 10-5 and they can roll a bag is guess what? They're not rolling a bag every round.
No.
Most of the rounds they're just sliding all the bags in. It's can they do that shot when the opportunity presents itself accurately?
You have to
and
capitalize.
then capitalize.
Yeah.
Correct. That's the whole secret. You could be the best dirty bag player in the game, like an Ethan Walker, right? He's still trying to put all 4 bags in the hole. If one happens to go short, okay, then he'll try to do stuff. If the board creates that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got the next one?
Sure.
Do it.
Another Addicted to Cornhole classic by Mikhail Allen. I love Matt Guy, the person. He's a great dude, and he's one of the greatest cornhole players ever. But I don't understand his game strategy. In the game against Clausen today, Clausen had 3 bags bunched across the hole, and 50% of the back was showing. Matt decides to shoot the airmail instead of a back block to force Gabe to hit the shot. He knocked them all in and sat on the back. If Matt Guy learned a consistent blocker bag with his airmail and slide, he could go back to winning tournaments at a high level. I'm not saying the game has passed him by, because he can change it anytime he wants. He's still a locked top 25 player right now. It's hard to compete with the best of the best if you're openly handicapping yourself. Just my opinion. Okay. So, I actually responded to this thing and basically just said, like, I believe that Round Limited had a lot to do with that shot selection choice, because he had to force points.
Here's a hole. Yeah, for sure.
So, like, yeah, sure, the strategy is a little weird, but it's an entirely different game, and that's our whole point with the whole Round Limited thing. It throws people's strategy out the window.
It forces shots.
It forces shots rather than letting players create shots, and that's not what you want to do. I mean, yes, there's some times that it works, but when players have a little bit more freedom to give up points, you're seeing just better, more creative cornhole play.
And again, if you watched that match, right, it was very evident that Matt was just not 100% comfortable throwing a slide shot.
Yeah.
So his best shot was an airmail. So why not let it rip? You got to rip. I mean,
we've seen him hit like smaller holes. What? With his bag.
For sure.
All right. You got another one, Sean?
I do.
Let her rip.
Mr. Twisted T himself, Victor Alday Jr. I'm pro jerseys. If you're only going to have one sponsor, why not just have it big on the back and front?
Short and sweet. I love it. Just like Victor.
And the best part is, at the time when I took the picture, it already had like 47 comments. I think it ended up having like 100 comments. It cracks me up like how many people like were polarized by this.
Yeah.
But I again, there's two arguments. One argument is that, hey, it says it 4 or 5 times on there and people are going to know what it says. The other side of it is like, it just looks sloppy and like you just don't know what you're doing.
Now, question, could you submit like different versions of that logo? Like for like Draggin Bags, for instance, could you have
yes, as long as the art,
DB,
I'm assuming
is
is
just do like the claw on a spot and like
I'm assuming as long as the logo, like the artwork is approved, then yeah.
Then that's, to me, that's where the creativity needs to come in. Like, I do so, rather than having fire 4 times across the back, put that F that you have as your logo big, and then have your fire right underneath it. Boom, done. Like, and I believe like that's what the fire jersey looks like. Anyways, like
Our logo looked pretty nice.
it sure did.
I gave him the black and white one.
Yeah,
Looked
sure
solid.
did. Slick.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So I'm.
Shout out to
very happy
Colin
for that.
though. Colin, I think, took like 7th in singles in his bracket. So
He's
for the, like,
I'm excited to see him in the
for sure.
21.
Me too.
format.
Yeah. So it was a very nice showing. You know, like rookie on the getting out of the gates though.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of him.
Hell yeah.
And then our dude Chris Kingsbury, proud
Alright.
sponsored player. He wins. He won the blind draw with Logan Chamberlain.
I mean, all of our sponsored players threw
Hell
great this
yeah.
week because they're just, they're awesome.
They are. So upcoming weeks we have Trey Ryder penciled in for next week, and then we also have ACL rookie. We met her in Emerald, Texas, Caitlin Alshouse.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have her. She had a really nice run. She made the broadcast, lost a tough match to Elizabeth Tennyson. I definitely want to ask her about the timeout situation and what she thought about it. Cause
Yeah, TV timeouts are a biatch.
yeah, so she was rolling. She had some momentum, and then you had that lull, and we've seen it so many times. And
Yeah.
whoever had momentum, it kills it every single time.
It needs
Death,
to be
taxes,
eliminated.
and whoever's in the lead is
Yeah.
going to lose it. Like it just happens.
Needs to be in round limited. I just don't understand it, especially.
It doesn't make any sense.
Makes
I
no
get,
sense to me.
and I know people are going to be like, "Oh, they're gonna record it and show it on ESPN2 later." Like, okay, well, first of all, you don't need that many ad breaks because there's like 12,000 people watching this.
Yes, and secondly, you can also just cut and edit if you're gonna put it in post. Like it's very easy in a cornhole match. You have all this time where people are grabbing bags. You're like, oh, let's cut it there, and then we'll just cut back, and they can just be picking up those bags that no one will notice.
Yeah, I just don't understand it.
Or you just cut and like get rid of some of the boring stuff in the middle, like cut to it, like, or do the picture in picture like they do in like
right,
Cavs games and
the
shit
move,
now.
yes.
Yeah, like just keep the action going and just shrink the screen down and be like, hey, if I want to see you in a Ken Ganley Kia, and then boom, blow it back up.
I do hope we see somebody with a bag change this year.
I'm
I think
shocked
they
that
all
we haven't
because
seen
they
it.
all get with their little blankies.
I-
They all find that one set of
Yeah, they're
bags
like,
that
oh, I've been so
we see
good
it
with these this
all
week. It's like
the
yeah.
time on broadcast when they can't play because like not a solid color bag and they got to switch and they fall apart. And it's either the boards or the bags I didn't like and something like that. You know what I
Had
mean?
to
So
switch bags. Yeah, but you don't hear those stories when they.
if you're a
when
pro
they win.
player, I think it would behoove you to like seriously like try to learn 2 or 3 different types of bag.
Yes.
Have a fast bag, have a really really slow bag, just for those situations, something that you feel comfortable with.
Because honestly, it's not going to make that big of a difference. You're a pro player.
Correct.
You should be able to throw anything under the sun,
Correct.
any which way.
Correct. Any which way.
Correct.
You want to cue the rap horn?
Well, we're closing it down.
Do I ever?
Shut her down. Shut her down. Actually,
Oh.
I just want to play one.
I got a booter.
Just because.
A little extra juice this week. Wow.
People hate us.
All right, reach us at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Big Ass Cornhole.
And Facebook, aka Meta, at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to Draggin Bags.
We love you.
Greatest sponsor in the world, making the greatest bags in the world. Get your hands on some today. Drop code BIGASS12 at checkout over at dragginbags.com.
Do it for sure. And then if you're looking to support the show, you can do so if you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole. And for the price of beer a month, you can help support the show and get some bonus content. We post the videos of all of our episodes on Patreon during the Nationals, kind of where I post like weekly recaps, and just it's the easiest way to get in contact. So if you're looking for bonus content, you want to help us continue to do what we're doing, we'd greatly appreciate it. You can do so at patreon.com/bigasscornhole.
Wee!
So, like I said, next week we got Trey Ryder. It's going to be a good episode. We're going to start busting out, I think, 1 or 2 new segments
Might as well.
next week. So it should be
Fill
fun.
the gaps.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, yeah, and then we're just like in the thick of it, man. It's like national, like every other week now.
Is that
Our
with 2
signature.
C's?
Yeah.
Thick? With
Yeah.
2 C's.
Thick.
I like it.
For sure. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.